Oh, Lord. Keep it open or close it out.
Leather bunnies. Pretty
yes, good. Very good. Listen, we got all your start-sit dilemmas hopefully answered here. We're going to start with Trevor Lawrence against that Texans defense, Jay, that the markets fear this proposition for Jacksonville.
They should. It's a top 3 defense in Houston. And the Jags, I don't trust that offense to be resilient against elite defense. Trevor Lawrence, the thing you mentioned earlier, Matthew, where he is kind of cheating the system a little bit. Not cheating the system. He's adding value with his legs and getting into the end zone with these rushing touchdowns, which is propping up otherwise suspect production. But I think he can probably do better than Trevor Lawrence this week against the Texans defense.
I'm closing the Trevor out to your point. This Houston Texans defense, even with Dave, and this is why I think they're probably favored, even with Davis Mills under center, 11.5 fantasy points per game to quarterbacks. That's what they're allowing. That is the best in the NFL or the lowest in the NFL. You see it right there in your screen.
Good margin.
They're better than the Broncos or the Bills or the Chargers or the Rams. The Texans have just shut down everyone. They're top 5 pass defense in yards per game, yards per pass attempt. And the Jaguars, to your point, again, Trevor Lawrence, when he's had good fantasy success, it's been these rushing touchdowns, which based on he's not Josh Allen. He's not Lamar Jackson. I don't know that you can count on, he is mobile, but he's mobile in a Justin Herbert sort of way, not in a guy you use around the goal line all the time. He's not Jackson Dart, I guess is my point. So I'm a QB 21 this week. I'm closing it out. I don't want him against the Texans, even if they do win.
Yes.
All right, moving over to running backs. David Montgomery against your Washington Commanders,
yes,
Matthew. Believe it or not, under 12 points in 4 of his past 5 games for someone that is typically so reliable in fantasy.
Yeah, and by the way, I'm keeping it open on David Montgomery. I get it. Last couple of weeks, it hasn't been great. He's a little bit more touchdown dependent than you'd like. But now he gets Washington. Now he gets it's Cincinnati East is what he gets in terms of a defense. My Commanders over the last 4 weeks have given up 115 rushing yards per game to running backs. They're giving up 5 yards per carry. Detroit is a 9.5-point favorite. I bet you they close higher than that as well. I would take the Lions giving 9.5 in this one. I think the Commanders after last week, I think they've given up. They lost Jaden Daniels. They're so beat up. They're beat up on both sides of the ball. Their defense has been quietly hurt. As a defense that wasn't good to begin with has had a lot of injuries over the last couple of weeks in this season as well. And so I just think there's a very good chance Montgomery falls into the end zone in this one. I'm at running back 19 this week, top 20 play. I'm keeping it open.
Yeah, the games where he feasts is when they're up so much that they have the run script to just keep pounding and to get him into the end zone. And so this feels like a Dave Montgomery 15 carry type of game.
By the way, I don't know where this came from, but Sean Krukowski said, worst case scenario, Barry runs the board, squeaks into the playoffs, and wins the league. Oh my God, the Braggler is born.
Yeah.
I don't even know where this came from, but
I don't either.
I
don't either.
I'll put an end to this week.
Yes.
It's okay.
Are you paying bots?
I should. Maybe. I'm not, but I'd like to.
So if you'd
like to apply for a bot position to be a part of the Barry Army online.
Leather bots.
Yeah. Some leather bots. Anyway, the Braggler would be unbelievable. Yeah. I
wouldn't do the show next year if that happened.
You don't have the,
nor do I. But you don't have
the upside.
You don't. I don't have the horses. There are years where look, I'm going through the motions, right? I picked up Cedric Tillman. I picked up Devon Bailey in our league. Again, there's no one available, right? I picked up these guys. By the way, during the commercial break, this is hilarious. I was so convincing on Adonai Mitchell that Jay actually picked him up.
Yeah.
While I was looking at him, trying to decide if I wanted to drop somebody on this team, that my team's so terrible, I have Tyrod Taylor, Isaiah Davis, and Mason Taylor. So I can't get a 4th jet. But it sort of tells you how my season's going.
There's a limit on jets.
Right, there's a limit.
I like the 1.5 line, but for you, it's 3.5.
The 3.5.
Yeah.
By the way, and none of them are Garrett Wilson
or
Brees Hall.
Wow.
Or Justin Fields.
That's actually amazing.
That's how terrible my team is. So the chubby leather daddies picked up Adonai Mitchell.
Sure.
But I'm going through the motions for the competitiveness of the league and to try to have a respectable showing. But I don't have.
You don't have Lamar Jackson coming back to help the 1-5 Ravens make the playoffs.
Yeah, I don't have the horses.
Yes. Raise the flags. Jay's going to squash some grapes, the likes of which have never been done.
Oh, yeah. My grapes will be squashed.
Looks that way.
We won't.
Squishy grapes.
We won't be kneeling up 30 in this
No,
game.
no, you'll run it up.
Cover the spread.
Yeah. I don't know if you said
like that.
2007 Patriots, but that's who we'll be watching video of.
I think you are literally like a 40-point favorite, like in terms of projections.
My team's a juggernaut.
Your team is great.
Yeah. Also,
my team
I've
is
got
not.
Quinshon Judkins, and now he's going up against his team who have no players left.
That's right.
Which
More
is gonna
Quinton
be handy.
Williams, that's for sure in that one.
Yeah.
Our next running back, guys.
By the way, it's a theme of my team is that I have. So, like, my Browns player, I don't have Quinshon Judkins. I have Harold Fannin and Cedric Tillman.
And David Njoku stays.
Yeah, exactly.
Yes.
And David Njoku stays. Like, I have all the players you don't want on the bad teams.
Yeah, it's a shame everyone was banned from taking Quinshon Judkins in the first 120 picks of our draft.
It was
no
a
one
great
was allowed
pick.
to do it. Yeah.
Great. It was a great pick. Yeah, no question. All right.
J.K. Dobbins.
Yes, sir.
He's got the Raiders.
He does.
But he also only has 8.5 points per game in his last 4. Is there any way you're still starting him, Matthew?
I am. I'm actually going to keep it open. First off, same sort of argument here as David Montgomery. Broncos are a 9.5-point favorite, right? They're home against Las Vegas. Since week 3, no team in the NFL, no team in the sport has allowed more rushing touchdowns than the Las Vegas Raiders. Yeah. And so J.K. it's weird because he's actually run really well. The problem is he's not involved in the passing game, and I don't want to say he's been vultured because it's not like they get on the 3-yard line and they pull him for somebody else. It's just like they've been doing these dumb swing passes to R.J. Harvey on the 8, and he gets in there. R.J. Harvey gets 4 touches a game, but 3 of them go for touchdowns. It's kind of super annoying, but over the past 5 games, Dobbins is 71%. 71% of the Broncos' red zone rush attempts. Like, when they get in close, they like Dobbins, they trust him. It's been some bad blocking, just some weird fluky play calling. So I don't think there's anything in the underlying skill set of the usage that's changed. Like, he hasn't been used. He's a touchdown-dependent RB2, but in a game at home against Las Vegas where they're almost 10-point favorites, I think he gets into the end zone this week. I'm as a top 20 play. I'm keeping it open.
It's funny looking at that graphic of teams that have allowed the most rushing touchdowns because it's basically like, all right, Raiders 1, did you play Jonathan Taylor? Yep, you did. Number 2, Tennessee, did you play Jonathan Taylor? Oh, yeah, you played him twice. So it's basically a Jonathan Taylor list.
Yeah.
But I do think that Dobbins, to your point, like a lot of this is just, one, it's weirdness where the Broncos just keep playing these weird games. Like the Giants game was just weird. The Houston game was weird. They're playing from behind, having to throw.
Right.
And then the one game where they were playing in front is R.J. Harvey getting all the touchdowns. Yeah. So, yeah, I think Dobbins, I think he settles in as a rock-solid RB2.
All right, guys, how about Alvin Kamara that ends up not being moved as expected at the deadline? He's got the Panthers. This one is the worst of all we've mentioned so far. 3 straight games under 7 points. Matthew, I don't even know if the question is, do you start him? Question might be, are you even consider dropping him at some point?
I don't know how again, it obviously depends on your roster construction, what your league is, the depth, what you need.
League of assholes, you are not dropping.
But it's just like, it's a bad team, and he doesn't look like the guy that we remember, right? He's averaging career lows in receiving yards per game, target share this season. What's kept his fantasy value afloat the last couple of years has been like, he's been this PPR merchant. But that's now Chris Olave on this offense, and so he has no explosiveness. Last 5 weeks, he's running back 41 in points per game. Like, are you keeping a guy that's not even top 40? Like, are you keeping a running back that can't even crack the top 40 on an offense where there's not a lot of competition for touches? Like, we love Alvin Kamara, but he's got 1 game in the last 5 with double-digit fantasy points, and they're not even using like 11 touches per game. It just doesn't feel like this offense under Tyler Shuck. I'm closing it out on Alvin Kamara. And by the way, if he were available in my league, not our league, because our league we just had a bidding war of Adonai Mitchell. But in normal leagues, if Kamara was on the waiver wire, I wouldn't pick him up.
I don't think I would.
He's like a poor man's Devin Singletary. No, but I mean, like, he's something like that. Like, he's just sort of like, he's just kind of like he's just a snoozy flex play that you hope finds the end zone.
They don't score.
Right. There's not enough of a floor there.
Yeah, it's like Ezekiel Elliott on the Pats.
Yeah.
So that's not good.
Yeah, exactly. Tyrone Tracy for me, Aloha Bricks. He asks Alvin Kamara or Tyrone Tracy rest of the season. I'll say Tyrone Tracy.
Yeah, I think the Giants will be in the red zone more than the Saints, and that's how I answer that question. That it's not like Singletary looked great last week. Tyrone Tracy's opportunity should get a little better.
By the way, I just said Aloha Bricks. He's asking. I don't know if it's Aloha Bricks is a he. So I apologize.
Yes,
we have
whoever you are.
We don't know the gender of Aloha Bricks. We just know Aloha Bricks is one of the regulars.
Yes, sure. By the way, do you guys know that the Carolina Panthers are like heavy favorites to go to 6-4? have a better record than the Chiefs.
Yeah.
There's a chance they could host a playoff game and be 10-point underdogs against the Lions.
Keep pounding.
Yeah, I was just going to say, keep pounding.
Unbelievable.
Yeah.
All right, let's go to the wide receivers, guys.
Bryce Young, MVP.
I don't think so.
Yeah.
Rome
We're doing a futures
Odunze.
bet. You could take that.
I don't want to.
It's
on the
it's
table.
just like
You
your
want it.
80-1 Giants bet last year, or your Saints to make the playoffs bet this year.
Bryce Young is more likely to get benched than win MVP this year. I think.
right.
Bryce Young's
put
more
him out there.
likely to win MVP of a different
Enough
league.
Bryce Young. Rome Odunze is next. Yeah, the goose egg is probably what you're thinking, but it's actually been under 6 points in 3 of his past 4 games after such a hot start for Rome Odunze here, Matthew. But it just seems hard to imagine a world where you could sit Rome Odunze.
Yeah, and I'm not going to.
Against the Giants?
I get it. Like, it's been tough, but I just feel like, yeah, to your point, it's a great matchup. You see it right there on your screen. He's my wide receiver 17. I'm obviously keeping it open on Rome Odunze. You mentioned the Giants and that matchup, Connor. They're giving up the 7th most fantasy points to opposing wide receivers. They've given up at least 1 touchdown to a wide receiver in every game this year, but 2. And so Odunze, I understand that they've had some fluky games, and like suddenly, DJ Moore's throwing to Caleb Williams,
Right.
and they've done some, sort of goofy stuff here. But prior to last week, Odunze had only 1 game this entire season with a target share under 22%. He's still the focal point of this passing offense. It's too good of an offense. He's too good of a player. I'm keeping it open.
And you forgot the most important thing in his favor. He has a dad on Twitter that's not happy.
Oh, there you go.
And if there's
We
anything
love
else
the
we've
angry
seen,
dads.
when
It's a great variable.
the squeaky wheel dad, receiver dad, is undefeated.
And what's interesting is that the most famous one, the one that started the trend,
Odell
Beckham Sr.
immediately wins the Super Bowl.
Well, and I mean, not just that, but no, that's why they got rid of Baker.
Yeah, that
that's
was a
really
wild
why. It's
feud.
unbelievable when you think about sort of the Browns organization, and so that tweet, and the cut up of the YouTube videos is what sort of like led to Baker Mayfield leaving the Cleveland Browns, and Mayfield obviously bounced around a little bit until now he's like, an MVP candidate this year, legitimately an MVP candidate, and about ready to sign an extension that probably will make him the highest paid quarterback in NFL history. Whereas the Browns currently have the most expensive quarterback in NFL history sitting on their bench, and they're in quarterback purgatory. They've got 4 quarterbacks. They don't know what they're doing. Like, no, it's honest. Like, other than Deshaun Watson, like, it set them down the path to try to desperately get Deshaun Watson, and that's obviously been a disaster on every possible level. And now, they're trying to figure it out with, Dylan Gabriel and maybe Shadur Sanders. They trade Joe Flacco within the division. Joe Flacco leaves Cleveland and suddenly becomes like,
Giants with Kenny Pickett.
right,
Yeah.
Throws for 400 yards for the first time in his life.
Yeah.
You can't make it up.
He's averaging over 30 points a game with the Bengals. It's not his fault. Like, right. If the Bengals could play defense, those tickets would have cashed of yours.
Yes.
All your Bengals tickets.
Yes, to win the Super Bowl.
Yeah.
Tirico McMillan, next up on our list, under 50 receiving yards in 3 of his last 4 games here, Jay. But the bottom line is he still gets the looks, T-Mac.
Still gets the looks. It feels like he's had so many almost moments, but he hasn't really exploded for that T-Mac game that we've been waiting for. He's getting the targets. I mean, it was a little fraudulent, the Buffalo game, because they're playing from behind. It was a fake game after the first half. He got 10 targets and it was from Andy Dalton. I think the issue is that they're so effective running the ball, and that's the identity of the team, and they want to run the ball, and against the Saints, where they're 6-point favorites, they're likely going to have the game script to be able to do that. I'm still expecting that we're going to have this 140-yard, 2-touchdown game from T-Mac when Bryce Young is playing in comeback mode, but it's a little concerning that it's been 9 games and he hasn't had that game yet.
It's a little concerning, but it's also like, as you watch it, like, we love the talent. Right? Well, there's no question about Tirico McMillan's talent.
Yeah.
So and it just feels like they just haven't been, like, it just feels like, there's, like, he's missing by inches.
He can
like,
be Nico Collins.
That's right.
If everything just worked out right, and honestly, CJ Stroud's better than Bryce Young.
Right.
So
Yes.
I'll relax. But, in theory, the player could be Nico Collins.
Yeah. So the talent is too good. The target share is too significant. 38% target share over the last 2 games for Tirico McMillan. Then you think about this Saints defense. The matchup is so good. Second most touchdown passes allowed on deep passes. So Tirico McMillan, who is obviously not only the number 1 option, but the number 1 option deep for Carolina. He's had multiple deep targets in every single game this year but 1. I'm at wide receiver 24. I'm keeping it open. I get the questions, but I'm banking on the talent and the matchup here.
Our next wide receiver, guys, the man that there was a bidding war for in the League of Assholes, Pop Douglas. He's got the Bucks.
He's a chubby lather daddy.
Chubby, yes, new team member of the Chubby.
No, he's playing
Lather
defense, just didn't want anyone else to have him. He'll be on my bench this week.
20 points last week. Not crazy utilization, But that should improve with the injury to Kayshon Boutte, Jay, where Douglas should be a factor this week.
He should. It's still just such a strange Patriots passing game to figure out. Like, I really thought Stephon Diggs was going to ignite, and that just largely hasn't happened. And then Kayshon Boutte, to your point, injured, but he's been taking up a share of the offense. Hunter Henry kind of comes in and out. The running back situation is very confusing, to say the least. And now they get this Bucs defense. Bucs coming off of a bye. Bucs 2.5-point favorites. Bucs have been excellent on defense this season. And while they are somewhat of a pass funnel defense, the pass defense has been better than it has been in years past. They're a bit healthier overall. So I just, Pop Douglas, like, what's he going to give you? What's the median outcome for Pop Douglas? Like 4 for 40? That type of game?
So you hope for 6 for 45.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, to your point about Tampa Bay, by the way, while they've been a pass funnel defense, they've actually been pretty good against the slot, right? The 5th fewest yards per reception to the slot this year are the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Pop Douglas, like, he's made some big splashy plays, right? You know, they've targeted him down the field a little more than you would think. But, like, even last week where he had, like, a great game, he had a 33% route participation. So you're basically banking on these big plays, and it's weird that it's him and not Stephon Diggs that's getting this, but you just feel like this pendulum's going to swing here a little bit. I agree, more opportunity this week with Kayshon Boutte potentially out, and we'll see the rookie Kyle Williams a little bit more, but you've still got Stephon Diggs. Feels like it's been forever since we've heard from Hunter Henry. Got to figure he's going to get more involved this week. I'm closing it out on Demario Douglas. He's my wide receiver 46. Just the usage isn't there. He's not a big red zone target either. I do think you should start him against me, though.
No.
Just for fun.
No, I'll start Jason.
Okay.
And I'm on Ra.
But Adonai Mitchell. Give him a chance?
He'll be on my bench as well. No, you'll get the A-listers.
Our last one, guys. TJ Hawkinson is our tight end. He's got the Ravens. He's only got 2 games with double-digit points this season, but even worse, Matthew, it's been non-factor when J.J. McCarthy starts. Yeah,
here's his yardage total in his 3 J.J. McCarthy starts, 15, 12, and 11. Like, he hasn't had 16 receiving yards in a J.J. McCarthy. You haven't seen right there. I have him at tight end 17 this week, so I'm closing it out. Hasn't had a game this entire year. Obviously, multiple quarterbacks have played for the Vikings this year, but has yet to have a game with more than 50 receiving yards. And it's not a great matchup against the Ravens. Baltimore, last 4 weeks, 7th fewest fantasy points allowed to opposing tight ends. I think the Ravens are getting healthier and better. And so I have him at tight end 17. I'm closing it out on the Hockler.
All right, we are going to go to break. Pete's telling me he has a tweet for me. Oh, a question. You guys can read this one.
Jonathan Medici 7. Can Connor's dad send an angry tweet to get him on Sunday's show?
Yeah.
There you go. The people have spoken.
To be very clear, Jonathan Medici, we, and by we, I mean me. Jay doesn't like him, but me, and I have more power than Jay when it comes to the Sunday show. I would love to have Connor on the Sunday show. We would love to have Connor on the Sunday show. We've discussed it before. The problem is that Connor Rogers, as you know, the hardest working man in show business, and I use show business in quotes, he does the pre and post game with SNY.
I'm a Jets draft enthusiast.
He's a Jets draft enthusiast, so he's not available to us on Sunday, but we would love him to come be with us on Sunday. Maybe one day.
Aloha Bricks is a man.
Okay.
Yes.
All right.
And said he's on the
Aloha
Big Island.
Bro. All right, let's go. Aloha Bro.
Oh, boy. Good stuff.
Right.
You guys are the best.
Hey, it's Matthew Berry from NBCSports.com and RotorWorld.com, and I want to thank you so much for watching whatever it is you just watched, or if nothing else, being too lazy to click out of the autoplay after this video started, after whatever it is you actually wanted to watch finished. But now that you're here, I'd like to take a moment here to ask you respectfully now, okay? I'm asking you respectfully to subscribe to the NFL on NBC YouTube channel. You'll get the latest Roto-World fantasy news headlines, all sorts of great shows, including my own Fantasy Football Happy Hour. So go subscribe now. Again, I'm asking respectfully.